salon talk. Now, Dawn will be here shortly. She is setting up. Remember, she had that event, but she was able to make it. So I don't know if some of you have seen the. Oh, I forgot to turn this down now. I don't know if you guys have seen the thumbnail, but the thumbnail is salon talk, hairstylist, and clients drama. And we were, of course, Don and I talked a lot on the phone, and we were talking about some of the things that we hear. Of course, we were brainstorming and trying to figure out, okay, what is it that we want to give our audience today? And we decided to do the drama because a lot of times you guys will go to the salon, you'll come to the salon and things will happen, or you're going to someone's house and things will happen. And the next thing you know, you're at home and you're complaining, or you're on the phone with my girl, she took forever. I don't know why I had to pay a deposit. Like I hear so many stories, and Dawn as well. So Dawn is supposed to play the devil's advocate. So she should be on in a few minutes because she was already setting up, but she's just getting back from her event. My thing came off. So that's what's going on. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and then we can from there. Hopefully, she'll join us in a few seconds or a few minutes. All right. So one of the things, and we get to talk about what we have issues with when it comes to I'll talk about some of the things we don't like as hairstylists that clients do. And then I'll hopefully by then Dawn will be on and we'll talk about some of the things that the clients don't like. Now, if you have something, now I have done a video like this before. And when I did the video on my on Ask a Licensed Cosmetologist, boy, oh boy, it was lit. Y'all hear me? Like people was on it. I think I got about 17K views. So it was a lot of people on there. They were like, oh my gosh, they had their complaints ready about our hairstylist in 2025. And so we decided to play the devil's advocate and go ahead and talk about that as well. All right. So one of the things that hairstylists cannot stand is that I can use myself for instance. I've been a hairstylist now over 25 years. And one of the things I remember when I don't know if I necessarily first started, I probably was in the first 2 years of my career. And the client, I had a client that I absolutely loved. I used to get excited. This is something you guys don't know. When we really love our clients, we go and look at our books and say, okay, who's going to be on here today? And we get excited when you're coming into our salon because we actually do. You, hey, Keisha. Dawn is going to be on. Thank you so much for stopping by. We so appreciate you. We so appreciate you. So, Keisha, you can put in any complaints or anything that you want to talk about that happens in the salon. Okay. And so, what I was saying is that I had this client, she was coming to me for about 2 years, right? And so at the time, this was way back, but at the time, I was what was I doing? I had gotten me a BMW. Hi, Prim. I gotten me a BMW. It was a 3 Series BMW. So it was like a 40K car. And this lady was she had a very high-end job, but she was so laid down to earth. I did her children's hair. Like we had a really, really great relationship. And I got the car. Well, I actually got the car for Valentine's Day. So I got the BMW for Valentine's Day. And I was happy about the car, right? And then so long story short, it was her time to come in. So I was excited to tell her, look, I got my car. I got this car. At that time, that was my car. I wanted a BMW. So she ended up, when she came in, I was like, we were just talking or whatever. But when she came in, I ended up having to go outside to my car, right? And I ended up going outside to my car, and I came back in, and then I forgot to tell her about the car. And then when she was leaving, I was like, "Oh my gosh, let me tell you, I got a new car." She's like, "Oh my God, good, good, good!" And I was so excited. And she went in and she looked at the car. It was decked, y'all. It had everything on it. It was like, that's when the computer cars, I think this was back in 2006. Okay. So that was that big. It was what was it? I know it was a six. It was no, it wasn't a six. It was a 325i. So y'all know it was an economy BMW. Y'all, do you know that she was like acting like, she was really happy for me and I was so excited and everything. And then lo and behold, guess what happened? She never came back. That hurt my feelings because, she was a black sister. I'm like, come on, y'all. And it doesn't really matter the color really, but it was just like, dang, why she stopped coming? So one day I was in a grocery store and I saw her daughter. I was lived this when I had my salon in Oviedo, Florida. So I had my daughter with me, and I ended up seeing her daughter in the store. And I was like, oh my gosh, I miss you guys. How's everything going? And she was like, it's good. Everything's going good. But she had her a friend that was coming as well. And the friend was like, girl, congratulations on your car. Such and such decided not to come anymore because she was like, she's not buying. You shouldn't be making that much that you could buy a BMW. And I was like, are you kidding me? I said, well, first of all, I didn't buy the BMW. My husband at the time brought the BMW. But it was the point that she stopped coming to me because she felt like she was giving me so much money because she was coming every week because she had like OCD. So she was coming like every week to get her hair done, right? Because it was either her daughter would come in and she'll come and chit chat with me, or she would come. And Keisha with the eyes, I was like, she said, girl, she said, now that's my cousin and everything. She said, that's my friend and everything. But she didn't like that. She was like, you shouldn't be driving a car. It was a 3 Series. 3 Series at that time was like, I think that car was like 36K to 40K with the bells and whistles on it, 40, the max. And that taught me a valuable lesson. So when I ended up getting my actual salon, where is Don at? When I ended up getting my actual salon, I didn't even tell people that I was the owner of the salon. That happened like maybe 6 months later. I ended up getting my own salon. And I did not tell anybody because that just rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't know people have issues when you start doing better in life, I guess. Because I was just like, it wasn't a big deal, but people are funny. Now, y'all clients, y'all could be something else. Now, you act as if, like, you know what I'm saying, we cool and everything like that. And I mean, I knew so much about her, like I really, really like loved her. But for whatever reason, Sister Girl did not appreciate me getting a BMW, y'all. She just didn't appreciate that. So I don't know. Why wouldn't you want people around you? Hold on, let me see. Let me read this. Yeah, why wouldn't you want people around you, this Keisha, to win? Just ashamed. Some women have problems celebrating other people. Listen, that I didn't realize that. I sometimes people we can't do better than the other person. Sometimes people get used to you being in the struggle and they don't mind you being a project and you helping them out and everything. But at the same time, they don't like when you start doing a little bit better. But I was always doing pretty okay. I was building up my business, right? My salon and everything. But I was okay because it was 2 incomes in our house. But I don't know. I was like, what does it matter? And I think we had went on a trip. So she was just like, you're doing too much, and at the time. So when I got the salon, it was a very diverse salon. When I purchased that salon from the previous owner, people did not know I was the owner of the salon for a very long time because that really rubbed me the wrong way. And it actually hurt my feelings because I actually loved her. Girl, struggle, anything is old. But you're right. Yeah. Yeah, Keisha. I was just like, where we do that at? So let me go ahead because I'm still waiting on Dawn. Now she told me she was setting up now. So I remember Dawn was at her event, so she was actually just getting in the door when we was, when we were actually about to set up. It was like about an hour ago. So hopefully she'll be on soon. But so my realtor was here and we were talking, and she decided to cut her own hair. Now, if you guys have a story, you can type it in and we can go over it and talk about it. I want Dawn to be here because she's the devil's advocate. But anyway, so my realtor was like, y'all, this is my girlfriends. We just talking. And she went and cut her hair. Now, my realtor hair is like right here, right? It's right down here, like literally laying on her butt. So she was like, oh my God, I cut my hair. And I'm like, her hair, y'all, and she has natural hair. So her hair shrunk. So it's here. I'm looking at her like, what are we doing? But we could be drama queens, right? So I'm just looking at her. She's like, oh, I can't function. I can't do this and that or whatever. And I'm like, what did you do? She said, I try to cut my hair. And it's a girl that's on TikTok that has this fluffy, gorgeous bob. But I was like, well, if you really didn't cut a lot because the bob sits above the shoulders. And she was like, oh, no, no, no. Can you fix it? Can you fix it? And I was like, yeah, I can fix it. I can fix it for you or whatnot. And so needless to say, she was saying, Lee, because you guys know I don't work in the salons anymore, right? But I still do continuing education. I do things, and a lot of these topics are about some of my clients that still come to me, but they come to my home. And so anyway, she was like, why one of the things come on? Oh, that's Dawn said she ready, she coming in. She was like, well, how much would it cost? And I told her, she was like, well, why don't you have more clients? I said, well, one, I don't really let people know, but I don't feel like haggling about my price, because she said, but your price is reasonable. I said, I know it is, but we live in Miami. I don't know if it's like the demographics or whatever, but a lot of us already know how to do hair. And the one thing I could tell you that I hate, and I was sharing this with her, y'all, I did my nails, my gel nails, and the polish is coming off. But the one thing that I did not like was the fact that she hold on, let me see if she says she's ready, but I don't see her. Hold on. Hopefully she sees it. But anyway, oh, there she goes. Hey, I don't like the fact when someone tells me my price. Don't tell a stylist what her price should be. I just added her. What happened? Ooh, they don't want to see. Great. It's gonna be juicy. Oh. Ooh, hey
Hey,
Don.
hot girl.
Everybody say hi to
Hey, hot
Don.
girl.
I was like, what? I was like, I was trying. I was doing my thing or whatever. I was like, I really miss my friend Don.
Girl, I need to ask for your autograph.
What? You need
I
you
said I
need an
need to ask for
autograph?
your autograph. Yes. I
My
love those red
autograph for
lips.
what?
I said your the red lips, the aura, the two thumbs up. I don't know. I left my ring light. I can't find it.
Well,
So I'm
we
here.
still can see you. Still look beautiful as
Okay.
always. Now, Don, I don't know if Don, what are you on Instagram? Don had this fire outfit, y'all. It was a tie. I talk about it was a tie, but it was a what was this here? This like a what we call that, Don?
Hey, Keisha.
Yeah,
The
you see
tie,
Keisha.
the necktie.
It was a necktie, but what was the thing that because it was like an outfit of neckties, y'all. It was so beautiful.
Oh, a corset.
A corset, but it had ties
Yes.
on the corset. Child, that thing was bad right there. It was
I
fire.
appreciate it.
How are
Thank
you? We
you.
missed you. How are you? Can you tell us a little bit about the event, and then we're gonna go into the topic that we was already talking about.
Um, the event is our annual retreat that we have every year,
Okay.
and um, it's just a network of professionals, and we just come together and relax and take a break, reset. It's a family vacation. It's a family family affair. Um, and we just reset.
Yeah.
Reset our not all of us travel for the summer or get a chance to go location for those of us that's in Florida. But we had quite a few people from different areas this year.
Mhm.
It's always new people, so you know I would
Okay.
love to see you next year. We're hanging out. We're going to be at the PGA in Palm Beach.
Hey.
And yes, in 2026 next year. So I'm excited about that. Um, and looking forward to it.
Well, that's what's
Yeah.
up. That was up. Well, you was looking fabulous. I didn't see the all white outfit because I know y'all had y'all things going on, but I cannot wait for you to post and share.
Can't think of my plug.
So I was just talking about. I did a story about when I had got a BMW and my client stopped coming to me because she felt like she was giving me too much money.
Oh my
Girl,
God.
and it was a 3 Series BMW. It wasn't even like back then it wasn't a 7 1/4. It was a 325. I was like, what we doing this at? But the lady stopped coming to me and she told her friend that I saw the friend. I think she said, girl, she said she was giving you too much money. I said, you and she was my client for almost 2 years. I loved her. She came like every week. It was her one week and the
Uh-huh.
daughter next week.
Uh-huh. And she
No,
felt like she was giving you too much money?
she said she was giving me too
I-
much money. And went out to the
What?
car and and I had got that car as a present. Yeah, you
Oh my
can't make this
goodness.
stuff up, honey. So this is
You
the
know,
salon talk, everybody. And y'all want to know what the subject is? We are talking about the salon drama, some of the issues that we be having with our clients that the hairstylists be complaining about, and some of the issues that y'all definitely be having with us. Now, Don's supposed to play the devil's advocate here. I asked you guys if anybody wanted to add, something that an experience that you had in the salon or at the person's house, and you wasn't pleased with it. Now, one of the main things, and I'm gonna do now a client, and Don, you can add your 2 cents in here. One of the things the clients, and this is what my realtor said that she does not like, that she has to go online to book an appointment, and she got to make a deposit. She was like, I don't understand that. I'm going to be there. Like, I'm going to be there. Why do I need to pay you $50? What if the service changed? Well, are you going to give me my money back? She just went down the line. And that's a big deal that people do not like. Girl, you could have been driving an RV. As long as my hair is healthy, it wouldn't matter to me. Right, Keisha? I was like, wait,
these are
what's
crazy.
going on?
Yes.
Right. So one of the complaints that I know, because like I just said, my realtor said she can't stand that, is the new thing where they like, you got to book an appointment, you got to pay your deposit, and then the deposit is non-refundable. And I understand. I understand. Wow, y'all are some baddies. Thank you. Appreciate that. I understand when someone is saying, you know what I mean? Like, I understand the client side of things. And as a hairstylist, we sometimes you booking appointments and then the people be like, child, I ain't going, I'm not coming no more, they don't show up or whatever. So I understand why the hairstylist says, no, we need you to pay the deposit because we're gonna make sure that you're there. They want to make sure that the
Right.
money is there.
Right.
But what do you say for the clients, Don? Like, you know what I'm saying? Since you playing the devil's advocate, how do you feel? Have you ever heard of this? Do you do that with your clients? Because I don't do that. I just book the appointment and they can call me and text me. I'm still old school.
Likewise, I'm old school, 34 years. So if you call me and you say, I do take a deposit now to secure the date,
Uh-huh.
right? So
Uh-huh.
it's a deposit for your service,
Mm-hmm.
and we move forward. It's just, yeah, I do take a deposit. I think it's fair now in the industry, you
Mm-hmm.
know, um, to because people don't show up, you
Right,
know,
right,
and I,
right.
I understand why doctors book, 10 patients at 1 o'clock, right? Of course,
Ooh.
they have different, people to to assist them before they actually get to see the physician. But
Right.
we often tend to, I lost my damn train of thought. we My goodness,
No,
I
you
think too
saying
much
like you
bacon.
understand why the
Right,
doctor does that.
would double up on on a solid appointment. You know what I mean? For that space. So I get it. Taking an deposit to secure the date. Because if you're interested in the service, right,
Right.
you'll make the deposit. If you're interested in getting your hair done, you're gonna come in, right? It's gonna be a
Hmm.
full consultation and the whole gamut. So
Right.
if it's a serious client, and you could always like test the client out prior to, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times we was like, well, I'm looking for a good stylist, but I don't know, where to find one, or so and so. Do you have a referral? So
Right.
normally, you ride by or go by, and
Hmm.
see if they're overbooked. You understand what I'm saying? Are they a type that's on time, right?
Right. Right.
And you could kind of see what's going on before you actually book. I just don't
Right.
believe in out of state like bookings. Like say, I'm going to go to this girl to get my hair braided, or I'm gonna go down to Africa, and when I go down there, I'm gonna have I'm gonna have my hair braided. I'm like, who thinks of that? I understand getting beauty services, because we all black women love beauty services, like, you know what I
Right.
mean? So we let anybody do anything to our hair, so I don't know why on vacation, you would go to Africa and let somebody uh that's unlicensed. You understand what I'm saying? Their sanitation practices are far different than ours, right?
Right.
And you have all these people with their hands in your head to give you these braids. It's like
Yeah,
ridiculous,
please. Don't play with my head
so
like that.
but a lot of people are doing it.
Mhm.
It's a business, right?
Right.
So but it's an unhealthy practice. We would be fined, right, for doing
Yeah.
something like that
What
here
do
in the
you know?
States. So
Don't they do that on the
mhm.
cruise too? Keisha, don't worry. I'm gonna read you real quick. Don't they do
What
that
Keisha
on the
say?
cruise too? What cruise?
Uh-huh.
What Keisha
I
say?
hate making online. Yeah, Keisha's right. Keisha hates making online appointments, but the
Child, they made
times are
it bad
different
for
now.
y'all, honey.
Yeah, and canceling and not showing up. You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. One thing
Mm-hmm.
I hate is when I go in and I want something specific and the stylist can't do it and they want to give it a try. In my hair, and I may not like the results. Oh yeah, I don't like several. Keisha, don't give no. Don't give my hair a try. No.
My
We
bag
don't
is the
practice
base.
it. You could do that
The,
at Smart Style in the
no,
Walmart,
that's my charger from my phone.
and you can do that
Sorry.
in the Smart Style and the Regis
Mm-hmm.
salons, because we cut your hair. They put a coat when you first come out of school. You go to those salons and they practicing on your
Right.
hair. But don't do no
Right.
try me's on my hair. You're supposed to be specializing in this. And if you're not,
Right.
I don't want you to try. You could try me
Right.
if you were my stylist for many years, and I'm like, you know what, go for it. But don't do no news, and I don't even know you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then now I want to say this. I don't see nothing wrong with them charging a deposit if you
Mm,
are the type of hairstylist that is professional. But I
right.
feel like, and I guess I'm playing the devil's advocate right now. I feel like if you're going to charge me a deposit, make sure you're there before I'm there. Make sure
Mm-hmm.
I don't sit no longer than 10 minutes. Make sure you
Thank
look
you.
the part. Make me believe in
Mm-hmm.
you. Make
Right.
me believe in you that you can
Mm-hmm.
do my hair. Make me believe
Mm-hmm.
that you care so much about yourself that when I see you
Right.
coming out, I'm like, now you know what? She about to
Right.
kill my hair. Look at her hair. Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And if you're late, or
Yes.
you know what I'm saying, then
Mm-hmm.
what's the consequences of that?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't just hold one side and say, yeah, you know what I'm saying? you paid your deposit, but what's the consequences to the hairstylists that are unprofessional, that come in late, bad attitude, all these different things? Those, to be honest, are the main ones that's talking about a deposit, because they
Mm-hmm.
celebs. They
Mm-hmm.
known
Mm-hmm.
for a certain hairstyle. They only doing one hairstyle. They known for that weave, and they like, child, they done booked like 10 people, and you're sitting there and you had to pay your deposit. So what do you say to
Oh,
that, Don? You think that's good or what?
I think it's an awful mess. It's just like going to the doctor's office and you have to sit there and wait. You know, um, had a 10 o'clock doctor's appointment. Got there at 9:30. Said I'll be, get there early
Right.
because no business is, you know, open up at 9 o'clock and the workers get there at 9 o'clock, right? So the
It shouldn't
office was
be. Yeah.
right. So the office was open, and you just had to put your name down. But everybody, like at 10 o'clock, everybody start piling in. You know what I mean? And you can hear them say, "Well, I'm here for Doctor So and So, Doctor So and So, Doctor," and
Right.
all it was 10, literally
Mhm.
7 people there for a 10 o'clock appointment.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, you have to sit, then you have to wait because if it's good, you have to wait.
But don't they go by the list who was there first? So if you all were scheduled for
Yeah,
10,
it's
that's good.
based on first come, first serve. It's they go in the order
Right.
of the sign it, right? But you're still it's still a wait. You go
Okay.
back in, you go through the process, you see the technician, she's gonna take your blood pressure, she's gonna check you out, see how what's going on, yada yada yada, whatever. And
Right.
I think you see like sometimes two or one person, two people, one between one to two persons before you actually see the doctor.
But see, let me tell you the difference with that. And the difference is the doctor may schedule 10 people at one time, and you looking like,
Mm-hmm.
nah, well, I don't put my name on there, so I'm sure they're gonna call me first, right? But
Mm-hmm.
the difference is you said one or two people are gonna touch you. Now, when people come into the salon and
Mm-hmm.
you had 5 to 10 people waiting for the same time frame, we don't like it. But
Right.
if you get your assistant and say, "Hey, go ahead and start and get on back there. What you doing the shampoo, right? I looked at the thing. You're doing the shampoo. Okay, great. Go ahead and drape her and set her up in the back, ma'am. Give me 10 minutes. Let me go ahead and talk to my client because I need to examine her
Oh
scalp. Right?
wow.
Let me do a quick consultation. Make sure I understand what she wants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, boom. Are you okay with my assistant going ahead and shampooing you? Yes, boom, boom, boom. We rocking and rolling. But we know
Right.
that's not what's going on because number one, y'all got to wash your hair before you even get there. So ain't nobody doing no consultation with you. You just get in there and you sit on the side and you wait because there is no professionalism. Now, I'm not speaking for all salons, but for the most part, I do know that be going on. Like I'm like, I did a video. I think that video hit like 17K. Boy, them clients was in there
Really?
lighting it up. Done. Donnie was
About
lighting it up. He was
shampoo
like,
and hair?
huh?
About shampoo and hair?
I said, why would you go in? It just dawned on me
Mm-hmm.
one day. Why would you go and pay? You ain't. It's no difference in the pay actually more. To
Right.
you gonna shampoo your hair with your unprofessional products. Go into the salon, still sit and wait with waiting for 5 to 10 people to get your hair touched. Why nobody can wash your hair? You sitting about an hour or two,
That's
and people
I
was
think
like,
if the salon doesn't have a shampoo person, it's a horrible deal.
"No,
You
you
know what I
need an
mean?
assistant." Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what Keisha was saying. Keisha was saying she stopped going to the salon because she had her stylist had her waiting for an hour and a half. That's
Uh,
just ridiculous right there.
I didn't see that part. Oh, that's
Mm-hmm.
what she's
Yeah,
saying there.
Keisha just
Okay.
mm-hmm.
An hour and a half.
An hour and a half.
No, baby. No. Now, I don't know if that ever happened to me. I'm just sitting here thinking it must have been like an emergency. Maybe I had to run out because my kids was in school or something like that. It was some type of
Mm-hmm.
emergency. I
Mm-hmm.
can count on one finger that happening. But
Mm-hmm.
if it did, even if that happens and you had to sit for an hour and a half, I will compensate them in some type of way. I say, like, listen, don't worry about the cut. The cut is,
Right.
you know what I mean? The cut is on me or something. I'm sorry for the inconvenience and acknowledge it. because
Mhm.
just that simple gesture, just that small, like, acknowledging you're wrong, right? Even though it was
Mhm.
an emergency, and people will understand, but acknowledging it and then going ahead and compensating them, people love that. And guess what? That customer will come to you over and over and over again because they already know you're a person of your word. You,
Mhm.
when you make a mistake, you're hold yourself accountable. You're
Mhm.
professional, and you're gonna get the job done. Now we're gonna slay it, but I do apologize for that. But they don't do that. But they want the deposit. That money already spent. The deposit already spent. That's fine. But don't, if you're gonna hold the clients accountable, I think that if you're gonna hold them accountable, you better be top notch.
Right.
You better now see
Absolutely.
now, Don, I don't mind doing the deposit with you because I already know you're a busy woman,
Mhm.
right? And your time is a value, and that's the biggest thing. People have to understand time is a value. Time is worth more than money.
Yeah.
I don't know if people understand that it is worth more than money because you can't. It's many people in the hospitals and in the graveyards that
Mhm.
just wanted a little bit more time. The people in the hospital fighting for the time, right?
Mhm.
So
Right.
it's very disrespectful for on both sides when it comes to things like that. I can't stand it. But and you always know what I said. Make me believe. Don't come in there with no bonnet on your head. The bonnet mafia, as Jay said. Don't come in there with. I'm like, now what's she gonna do to me? Because she clearly didn't understand the assignment. Uh-uh. All right.
The bonnet
Go ahead.
mafia, you know, they stay ready,
They stay
right?
ready, honey.
We were,
Dump
we
bonnets
were
be
talking about that earlier. It's like, do you want to, what are you going to say to that girl with the bonnet on? Are you going to tell her to take it off? Are you, you know what I'm saying? Because she's like ready. So when you see
right.
somebody with that bonnet on the streets, just know she has some sneakers. So she ready.
She ready?
Just be like, "Yeah, yeah, she ready for whatever she ready for, which is nothing. Because when you go out in public with a bonnet on your head, you ain't going nowhere. Where you going? To
Child, that's
me,
self
but
love. I'm
yeah,
self loving myself, honey, with this bonnet on. That's what I know. And I don't. And I had recently somebody said, I don't. We don't care about what nobody think. Uh huh. I'm sure you don't.
yeah, yeah,
Praise God.
yeah,
Well, tell me
yeah.
how
That
that
is
feels.
that is that's our that's our secret power.
That should well praise. Well, listen. I
Oh
understand,
my
honey. I ain't
God.
going looking like that. But if
All
you
right.
want to
I
walk
mean,
around looking like
our
that,
secret power is we don't care.
that's the secret power. No, you know what? And you know what too, honey. When they see me, wait till they see me. When I take it, because I don't want to take my hair down, because it's wrapped up. I don't want to take it down. Well, baby, you don't went out in public like that. Don't nobody care what you gonna look like afterwards. They're gonna be like, oh, she done took the bonnet off.
You think they're gonna remember her?
I don't know. That's a good question. If she in the neighborhood, because I know I'm telling you right now, my neighborhood is pretty
Well, the girl in the neighborhood, she probably got the bonnet on because she not trying to attract no attention. Because if she going somewhere,
but
she got her bonnet on.
but they be wearing that bonnet
Oh,
like it's a part of the outfit. I'm like, ma'am, that is no ma'am. And then don't do that ghetto pat. That thing right there, it takes me all the way out every time. I be like, I can't do it. I can't. I can't. Let me see. Keisha done lit it up, honey. Oh yeah, I don't.
yeah.
I
Keisha
used
say
to
her
go
grandma gonna snatch her from the grave if she saw her with that scented cap on her head.
from the grave. I know
From
you
the
didn't.
grave. Grandma coming to get you. Mine too. What are you doing?
Listen.
My grandmother always had her clothes customized for my 50th birthday.
Uh
God
huh.
blessed me with the opportunity for 50 days with her, right? And
Oh,
she
I love
suffers
that. Uh
from,
huh.
yeah, suffers from dementia. So I was
Hi,
able to go to the
Zaria.
Bahamas and hang out with her for for you know 50 days. And
Okay.
it was such a liberating experience. It gave me it gave me a new me, right? She gave me a
Okay.
new prayer, you know, And
Oh.
although she suffered from dementia, she prayed every day.
Mm.
She know how to pray. She knew how to
Uh-huh.
say thank you and please, and she was still pleasant, you know.
Right.
And she was still in a she was still in a humble spirit. And she would get feisty, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Because I tried to get her to come in the water with me. She was like, no, 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 it's some sharks in there. She understood.
Oh
No,
yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
you could
Yeah.
just put your feet in the
She
water because her feet were
she
swollen. And she was like,
oh.
no, no, no. She was like, no, it's sharks in there.
Hey
Here's
Zaria,
sharks in there.
you said you a stylist from Newport, Virginia. Shout out
Newport,
to Newport,
Virginia.
Virginia. Zaria, do you have a story? Do you have anything? Because
Hi, Zaria.
this is the drama, hairstylist drama. This is where you file your
Right.
complaint
So,
at on our comments. Do you have anything that you have heard your clients complain about that they don't like, or anything that you don't like that your clients do? I already told them don't count my pockets. One thing hairstylists don't like, y'all, is for you to tell us how much we should be charging. Now, what we do that at? Don't don't do that. Uh-uh. That's
yeah.
well, it's only a little bit right here, so that should be like $5. Oh, really? So why you ain't just do it yourself?
I
Yeah,
think
I
that's
don't.
why we need to have those barriers. I wouldn't say barriers, but if you're operating a system, right? If you're
Mm-hmm.
operating like an actual salon system, okay, the
Mm-hmm.
client comes in, you have a waiting room, you have the receptionist that, you know, greet them or whatever have you, offer them tea, coffee, what have you, what service are you having, and then they find a stylist that provides that service, right?
Right.
If you're
Right.
operate That's how you operate in a salon, right? And you walk
Mm-hmm.
to the back, you have a shampoo person that's going to shampoo, you know, first a stylist, if it's a walk-in, you know, you find
Mm-hmm.
somebody, figure out what the stylist want. Of course, you have some experienced stylists on the floor. I'm
Right.
talking about the proper operations of a salon. So the
Uh-huh.
breakdown of the salon just does not exist. Everybody is just doing whatever they can do to get the dollar.
Uh-huh.
It's like they somebody put them in the machine that's spraying money up, and they're just
Right.
grabbing everything that they can to survive. This we're in the beauty industry. I have this skill set. This customer came in here, and I'm just going to give her whatever because I need to get the money. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, it makes no logical sense. You're doing more harm than good. So I think
Right.
that's where it comes from, the actual breakdown from the salon. So now the stylists, right? They have a little clientele. They was like, I don't want to go in the salon with that toxic environment. They may
Right.
really be a really good stylist, and the owner is mad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're gonna
Mm-hmm.
take all my clients. I want you to do
Right.
hair this kind of way, our way. And owners, you can't tell an independent stylist that's
Mm-hmm.
renting a chair what to do. All they have to do
Right.
is pay their rent. You can't, because they're not an employee, right?
Uh-huh.
If you're on commission, right, that's
Yeah,
an
that's a
employee,
different thing.
right?
You own
Right.
me. But
Yeah. So the
yeah.
actual mechanism or mechanics of the salon is, that structure is gone. You're now in
Right.
salon suites where everybody's just in their own little pod,
They
right? We were
got their
all in this
own work
art,
ethics.
right? So,
Hmm.
which is none. It's whatever
Right.
I feel. It's whatever I feel like.
Listen. I remember my client, and that done happened to me at least 4 times, right, in the salons I was in, where they done told me stop coming in early. Excuse me, I'm renting the booth. That's
Right.
why I was like, I'm renting the booth. They were like, well, you come in here early. My clients complain and want to know why I don't get here early. Well, that's your problem. Well,
Yeah.
now they asking if they can come to you, well, then you better work. You better figure that out,
Hmm.
because I learned this long time ago. Create good habits. Create
Right.
good habits. Don, I booked you to do my makeup for the movie. I pull up. I pull up early. I think it was like we had to be there at 9, and I pulled up like 8:30. I look down at the phone. I'm right behind you. I said, now that's what I'm talking about. That's that was love at first sight for me. I was like, oh, she got it. You know what I mean? and we sat there and
Yeah,
waited together.
thank you. I try and be at least 30 minutes
Uh-huh.
ahead of time for my client. You know what I mean? That's why I take a deposit so I can
Yep.
prep and get ready for the
Yep.
client. So it's not, at 10 o'clock I'm there. I'm prepping the
Uh-huh.
night before,
Right.
for the service. Like what is it that the client needs?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she just, um had a reaction and
Right.
she probably can't get makeup, or she may not be able to receive the service. So it's always good to have a consultation with the with the client prior to the service, right?
Right.
24 hours. Give them a shout. What's going on. Somebody you could talk to, text. I used to do that kind of stuff, not as much so more,
Mm-hmm.
but now they have stuff that's automated where you can send it out, you know, a click of a button within the less, 24 hours. I get it from my nail when I used to have my lashes and the
Mm-hmm.
individual lashes applied, prior to my
Mm-hmm.
appointment. They would have me to check in to confirm that I was coming in, the next 24 hours. And
Right.
I can pre-book and get a discount, right?
Right.
If I
Right.
booked prior to leaving, and their retention was high.
Mm.
It was
Mm-hmm.
extremely high. Post after
Yeah.
COVID, of course everybody had to start over,
Yeah.
but
It was
it was
good.
very, very, very I mean, they were moving, and it was because
Right.
what? They were working a system, and the
They had
owner,
that system in place.
she
Right.
right, she wasn't doing lashes, right?
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't a technician, she was an esthetician.
Right.
That's what she got her license in. So she saw the revenue in the beauty business, and her husband just sat down there and put together a system, and it
Mm.
was working.
It
She
worked.
opened up like a multitude of little lash stations. Just imagine
Mm-hmm.
20 lash stations, 20 lash technicians, and all
Mm-hmm.
of them are booking per hour. She would do her own training,
Ooh.
right? But the application would have to be, you have to be that good to have an application on in an hour.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So that was the key. She only hired you if you were able to apply a full set of lashes in an hour's time. So, clients can't sit longer than that, which was smart,
Right.
right?
Right.
Right. So yeah,
I love
her
it.
system, yeah, it was when I said amazing. So that would be my next business venture if you
Mm.
ask me. Is that what you asked me the other day?
Yes, ma'am. What's it
Lady
gonna be?
Eagle.
Tell me. Let me hear.
Yes, the lash
You gonna
bar.
do the lashes? You
I was
doing
just
your mink
saying,
lash? Are you gonna do the individual mink lashes? Is that possible? I don't know.
yeah, they have the mink. They have mink individuals. Yes, they do.
Don, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
You already know.
Now, I don't know if would have I would be able to do the application,
Yeah.
right? Within an
Right.
hour. I'm sure I,
Uh-huh.
I could do anything through Christ Jesus who
All right.
strengthens.
All right. Mm-hmm.
So I believe that I would do it, and if practicing or going in, I would have to work on my speed. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, definitely a lash bar.
Yeah, but the thing is for me was that I would come in early if my client had to travel, or if it
Mm-hmm.
was hair replacement. Hair replacement,
Hmm.
people do not want to come in no salon when you know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying, when a bunch of
Right.
people are there, they dealing with issues, so they want to come in, sneak in the back, and when they come out, you can't tell what's going on. You know what I mean? So I'm like, well, I
Of
have to be
course.
at 4:30. I don't
Hmm.
know what to tell you. Talk to your client, let them know you don't do that. Who is Zaria says, I've been a licensed cosmetologist now 9 years, but have been in business for myself now for 2 years. I rent a salon suite and locks are my niche. Absolutely love being in the industry. Yeah, yeah. What's Zaria? If you don't mind, what's the thing that what's the thing that you love the most about the industry? That's something to ask. And that's good that she chimed in and she's a licensed cosmetologist. And
Yes. Honey,
she said
Maryland don't play that.
they don't play that.
No,
Oh, I'm
honey.
curious. Is Maryland like North Carolina was like you had to do theory and
Hmm.
practical? Is Maryland
Hmm.
like that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But because they're practical. They do have a hands-on. I mean, a theory practical. Like Florida is a
Hmm.
theory practical. Like we don't have to
Okay.
go in and actually perform on a person.
Okay.
I don't know if they
Hmm.
still do that in Virginia, or further north.
Hmm.
But here in Florida, I know it's just theory.
It's just
Mhm.
theory. Yeah. So it was
Yeah,
theory
I
way
love the
back when I
beauty
was in it.
industry. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been in it for 34 years, sorry. So I
Woo!
absolutely, yeah, 34 years.
But
It's amazing. This month I celebrate receiving my license.
boy, hey, I remember I was so stressed out when we had to do that test. They ain't play about that. I
Right.
don't know what's. But let me tell
It's
you
worth
something.
it.
Don, when you went, wait, did you go to cosmetology school to get your license? Because I remember in high school they was giving
Mhm.
cosmetology license for free. They
What?
were like, yeah, we had course like all the B girls, like you know what I'm saying, Angel and all of them. They was all in the Angel used to be cutting my hair, but all the B girls used to be doing hair. That's why when it
Uh-huh.
came out, they was doing hair, but they offered the course for free, so people was getting their license because it was a
Wow.
12-month course, and
Mhm.
then the next thing you know, by the time I got to 12th grade, they cut the program. They cut the
Mhm.
program. But when I went, I think my total thing was like maybe 12K. But I look at
Mhm.
people now, shoot, going to school. I think the last I checked, it was like at 30K for a cosmetology license. So that's why so
Yeah.
many people are going towards the specialty license because they're like, because I ain't got the money and all this and that. But to me it behooves you to get a cosmetology license because then you're not limited. You can just do whatever you want to do. Now I done fell off a little bit. So let me go to the clients that some of the things that they don't like. Okay. Well,
Mhm.
in Virginia, they recently changed our licensing from 1,500 hours to 1,000. Oh, here in Florida, it was 1,200 hours. I don't know if that changed, but when I was in school, it was 1,200. So
Mhm.
I'm not sure. Yeah, they don't play. I see. But one of the things clients don't like, y'all, is the hygiene of things, the cleanliness in the salons, or if you're going to someone's home. They don't like that, y'all. They really don't.
Yeah.
Hi, Amber Knox. So
Hello.
they don't really care for that. So I had that happen to me where I came to a young lady salon. She said she did hair. I was over there on by the flea market, USA flea market, right? This was before USA flea market closed down. That was a staple. I don't know why they closed that down, but um the girl had took the comb. It was a lady, it was a street walker. She was in between clients and she came in there and like I'm sitting across and she was already doing one young lady hair with the comb. So then she molded the girl hair, put her under the dryer. And I was watching the comb. I didn't care what was going on. I was watching that comb. So the street worker came in. She said, she needed her to take down her assistant. So she used that same comb and she take down that system. So then
Wow.
she said, Lee, I sat down. I said, I got my own comb. She said, oh my God. I said, you don't use that comb now on two people head I see. Don't use that comb on my head.
Right.
Where's your barber side?
Right.
Because I won't tell you I'm a hairstylist. But if you're good, I don't care about you being famous and you known for a certain hairstyle. I
Mhm.
want the whole kit and caboodle because I'm spending
Yes.
money. If you want me
Yes.
to spend $200, $300, I'm spending money. Give me everything I'm supposed to get in this. I want the full service. And that is the
Yes.
problem that I see. So many of y'all got to buy the weave. You got to get the service done, and there's nothing wrong with the pricing, but give me the service. And I told her,
Right.
she said, I said, where's your barber side? She said, State Board said we don't have to. I said, baby, I don't know
State
what
board
State
would
Board you
never
talking,
say that.
because she was natural hair, and I get it. You're natural. You only do natural hair, but listen, it does not stop you. You do 16 hours. Now I know you said it cut
Yeah.
it out, but at the time you do
Hmm.
16 hours, honey.
But
You can.
natural hair still do sanitation and sterilization. So
I thought.
even if you took the natural braiding license here in
Uh huh.
Florida, it's still, you don't have to anymore. They still
Right.
cover sanitation and sterilization.
Uh.
So
So
like
what
I
we
said,
talking
all
about?
those little shortcuts that they do to to seek money
Uh
from the
huh.
beauty industry, right?
Right.
Because if I can do this skill and I can do it good enough, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
I can get paid for it,
Right.
right? And we already know that Black people are extremely skillful,
Mm.
right? We're
Yeah.
extremely skillful. So we can see and look at you. We're visual people, so we could learn or pick up how to do something by watching you do it, right? And then we
Right.
go home and we practice, you
Hmm.
know. So and then now, you have people. If you're good enough, people in the hood gonna line up and let you do their hair.
They're gonna let you do it now. I remember now this is another
Because
thing.
I started doing hair and I wasn't licensed.
I know
I was
you weren't
doing
doing
hair and I
no.
wasn't licensed. Right.
Okay, you wasn't licensed. I know you was doing braids. Was you doing
Mhm.
pigtails? When I was you doing pigtails for $30?
Mhm. I sure was. I was that girl.
What Keisha say, that comb scenario is similar to cross contaminate.
Contamination.
Man, you know, because
Absolutely.
barbicide kills all manner of things that you may have going on. We don't. You can look healthy, but you may have certain things going on with you. Don't put that in my hair, because if I got to cut in my head or something like that, and you put that comb in there, I don't want to risk it. Don't. I don't.
Hmm.
I'm very very big on that, because if y'all watch any of the videos, my daughter, I did that. I was fresh out of school, done, didn't look
Hmm.
back, grabbed a comb, and I had just finished a client hair, and I did it to my daughter hair. And y'all, within 24 hours, they had pus and bleeding in a circle, and her hair just started coming out. So I'm like, I'm scarred from that. So you got to be clean. When I come to your house and I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Not really using it. But if that bathroom looked like it was some gunshots in there, and no ma'am, I ain't coming. You know what? I just had a call. I gotta leave. I ain't going. You know, people coming to your house and you giving the
Oh
service.
my
You
God.
don't have the common sense to wash your bathroom. Now, two things my mama taught me: keep that kitchen clean and that bathroom clean. If you can't
Absolutely.
do nothing else, if you get sick, because guess what? If somebody come to your house, even if you married, they say the woman is nasty. They don't say nothing about the man. So I'm like, well, and that has happened. I came to somebody's house. I went to use the bathroom, and it was a gunshot. And I could have said maybe somebody else came there and did it, but I was the first one there. So that means I was the first client. It was 8 a.m. in the morning. And I'm like, now, yeah, now we got to do better than that. I had to tell her I had to go. I never explained why, but you cleanliness, that's the bathroom. People are going to be using it.
Hmm.
But y'all be risking it all for a hairdo, honey.
Yeah.
Risk it all.
Yeah.
Don, you got any complaints that you could think about?
The kids. Why y'all be bringing them kids to the salon? Why you can't find nobody to keep them? They gonna run all up and down the salon,
Woo!
aggravate. That's a peaceful place to
I
be. That's where you're
know.
supposed to come and relax and meditate and get your hair done. You are not supposed to be hearing no screaming child talking about. And why is you putting them lace fronts on them children?
Oh my God. Don, I seen a 2-year-old, they put that thing on. A 2-year-old. Now I seen the
I don't
first
understand.
child. They was in Africa. Oh no, oh no, I
What?
forgot about them kids. Yeah. Now to me, this is the thing that bothered me the most. I used to see it when I was when it first came on. Hold on. What do you think about the way the war? What Ukraine? Who is this? Freddie? Freddie. Please don't get deleted out of here because I will delete you. We talking about hair. All right. So anyway, I used to be like, I didn't like when people brought their kids and then they be popping the kids and stuff because you know good and well kids are not gonna sit there like that. You got them all up in there like that so long. So I'm like, I used to be like, I get it, you know what I mean? Now some of them they, like they had just had a baby and they was tired, they was happy that they got rid of their baby. And not rid of the baby, but they weren't carrying the baby anymore. I'm sorry, y'all. So then I had the baby, and you know how it is because I've done this. I have let my hair grow super long when I was pregnant, but as soon as I had that baby, and I wasn't breastfeeding, I was like, cut, relaxer, you know what I mean? But I had somebody to watch my baby. But some women, they don't have anybody to watch the baby. So I did like create a room in the back and, where they can nurse and like help them out. But I do agree. We are not those type of hairstylists though, Don, because I think this is bad for hairstylists to do this. Like the lady, remember I told you the hairstylist told her don't bring the big bag in there because it's too much going on. And I said she can't bring her purse. Nah, we doing a little too much. Now, if your place is that small and you're doing hair and your client cannot bring in a purse, we need to go back to the drawing board and figure out what we can do about that.
Absolutely.
So yeah, but you're right. Now the kids, and then y'all be bringing extra people. Then y'all want to hold a whole conversation. That ain't cool. Now for hairstylists, get off the phone. Get off it. Especially when you over somebody's head and they just sat in your chair. You don't ask you don't do no consultation. You just say you doing a what? You can do a relax. You doing a relaxer, right? You want to cut. That's what you do. You say, hold on, girl. You just such. Okay, and you just go on. You don't.
But
you
that's when
ask,
you're talking to you have somebody that's operating your front desk. You're already working in distress. If you're answering your phone calls while you're working on a client, you're already working in distress.
Right.
You don't have a system in place that will allow you to make money. Which it doesn't make, it's not efficient. What Keisha said.
Keisha said, I hate going to the kitchen cosmetologist. And she has to stop to feed the kids, beat the kids, and dog out her man. Woo-wee. I have some horror stories about that. Listen now, before I was a cosmetologist, I was a client. I still am a client at times. I can't stand that. Listen, this is a Miami story. Child, I went to get my head over there for 58 and 12.
Oh,
58 and 12. This girl was sitting in the dark, like the sun down and everything. She was doing. That's when the ball class was coming in. Now she could slay. Now she was doing it. But honey, she went in that room. I mean, in that kitchen, and that man had ate her last mango. She had the mango to get cold with the vinegar and everything, and the salt and pepper. That girl had to send me home. They was in there fighting like cats, and I'm talking about fist blowing. I was like, child, the whole back was done. None was. She said, I see. I said, you can't make this
no.
I know it's just $35. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm 17. I get it. But can you just be professional just for a little bit? Keisha, I got some stories too. Dawn, you ever did that to anybody? Because I know you was doing hair.
I had this one client. I had just taken this cutting class, right? Okay. And you couldn't tell me I couldn't cut no hair. So the lady came in, child, and she was like, she showed me this style. And I said, yes, I can do it. Right? She sat down, honey, and of course I started cutting from back here, right?
Uh-huh.
And then I
Okay.
kept trying to get this line straight, and I couldn't get this line straight for nothing. By the time I finished, I was
Uh-huh.
way up here at the top of the
Oh,
lady head, all the way,
oh.
like right here. And that, that style wasn't even out. So all of this was gone. That damn, and that lady was fuming. And I just didn't know it because I was just so focused. I was so focused on trying to get this goddamn style. Girl, the next time I saw that lady, she had some dread. And ever since then, I said, I'm not doing that shit no more. It's gonna have to be on my mannequin. That haircut is gonna have to be on my mannequin before I touch a client's head, period. So I have tons and tons and tons of mannequins. Like, for real. Girl, when I say I couldn't say nothing. That lady was so fucking mad. Oh, excuse me. If she probably was like, I can't, I know I can't fight. I know I can't beat Dawn. So it's like, because I was down south and I had just started working down south. I had just gotten my license. And my mentor said, girl, for your graduation, I'm gonna give you a cutting class. She gave me a cutting class. She did like a boot camp. It was off the chain. And I had gotten some other girls, some other stylists that I know they needed to strengthen they self, come take the class and stuff for me. I'm like, girl, you can come on time. What you think? I can't do no hair? Like, I'm like, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, look, I know I need some goddamn class, bitch. I just came from beauty school.
Don, you was in there
What?
with your chest up too. Keisha say, Don,
Girl.
Keisha say,
Girl.
what did she say? What did the lady say when after you did it? What,
Really?
so wait a minute. Wait
See,
a
that's
minute.
how
Wait a
bad.
minute. Wait a minute. Keisha, I'm with you. Wait a minute. So what you did? A hot top fade? What you did? Like what was it? Was her hair
It was
long?
like the style was supposed to be, the mushroom. It was just the back was supposed to be shaved off.
So
Just the
a
back.
graduation.
The old school mushroom which came straight around across the eyes like that.
Oh, right.
The flat wrap.
Right.
Right.
A
So
solid up here and then graduation in the back.
yeah.
Shaved down, right? Okay.
Taper down in the back.
Taper down.
Taper down low in the back.
Mm-hmm.
The sides as well. And then the top layer just came straight down in the bob.
Right. Well, did you get that part right?
All the way around.
Did you get that part right? At least that part.
Yeah. Yes. Had I stopped. Had I
Wait.
stopped. I didn't
So you
stop.
get.
Like I was, but my finger kept getting in the way. So when I cut it, it was like it was uneven because I wasn't supposed to. They was giving you, that was a cutting class, girl. And they said in the cutting class, you have to stop at,
Right.
because if you don't, you're gonna end up cutting off too much
Too
hair,
much. You can't bring it back.
right? And
Right.
of course, that's exactly what I did. That was my first.
Wait.
That was my first haircut, and
Dang.
I just went in. I was like, okay,
Okay.
I'm
So
gonna have to
real
walk
quick.
this thing through on the mannequin first. And I did just that. And that's how I became an excellent cutter. So now I can
Right.
teach the subject and stuff like that. And I understand, yeah,
Wait.
from
So
holding the
question for
scissors.
you.
Well,
Did she pay? Did you ask her for the
Girl, the
money?
people made them pay. I don't know what happened. Because she had it was
I'd be like, what?
yeah. Oh,
Uh-uh.
I think she was a cop. I think she was a police officer. Yeah, but
And
she
Don.
didn't. When I saw her again, it was some years later, like years later that I saw her. When I tell
Don.
you, this lady had some locks. She had locks like all the way down. My
Don.
locks are longer than hers, but she had some locks.
Don, you made that lady change her whole. She said, I don't want no relax. I don't want nothing straight. I don't want to, don't put some dreads in here, honey.
Girl.
You had
So
to give
I
that lady a high top fade.
Yes,
That's a good
ma'am. That's
story.
exactly what it was. If you, and that wasn't even in style then. But yeah.
It wasn't
So
with
I
Kwame. It wasn't in style.
no.
Listen. Well, y'all, we got to do a part two. We got to do a part two of this because we got so much. I'm gonna tell y'all one of my stories too on the next episode of clients and hairstylists and clients drama part two. All right. I pray that you guys enjoyed yourself. Don, you have anything else you want to say before we go ahead and close out?
Love, peace, and protect your your beauty.
That's right. And thank God none of y'all met Don back in the day, that first time. And Don, I know, we be hyped when we get ready to do hair. Like, I was like, oh my God, I could do anything. Like, we be so excited. So I just
Yes,
could imagine. And we all
yes,
had those stories. You ain't the first, and you
yes.
definitely ain't going to be the last. That's why I tell them, when they knew hairstylists, I said, go to the Regis, go to the Walmart salons because they ain't going to fire you. And the client just going to have to deal with what they're going to have to deal with.
Yeah,
So
that haircut ain't no joke. They gotta watch, you gotta put it on the mannequin first. That's one
Don, you
lesson.
went all the way up.
Girlfriend, right where you have that flip, like just that middle part, that middle piece.
Right here at the pivot point.
Yes, girl, everything. It was not it was not a style. Maybe if we were in Europe, you know, or
Wait a
Paris,
minute. Wait a
where
minute.
it
We
was
got to
a
be in
little bit
Europe.
more edgy.
Don, we got to be in Europe.
Girl, America was not ready for that.
They weren't ready for it. Child of
No,
God. Was she cute?
no, it exposed her features because she really, like I said, she was a cop, so she had strong features. So her features were, it was just strong, and it
No.
was, yeah, yeah,
Don. Don,
yeah,
you
man.
done made my day. I knew Don had to be on, y'all. I was like, I felt it in my spirit. I said, where my friend at? Where my friend at, y'all?
Yeah,
This has been
that was my worst experience in the beauty business.
for you.
That
But
right
guess
there.
what? When we have those things like that, especially when you first
Hmm.
come in the game and you know
Hmm.
you want to be in this for the long haul,
Hmm.
man, you talking about master. I bet you mastered that cut. I know you
Absolutely,
mastered it because I see some of the stuff you done did already. You understand what I'm
absolutely.
saying?
Hmm.
Because I
Yeah.
be seeing them now with this, they be putting the comb and doing all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, all right. They got that bomb down pat, but it was a time like a lot of people wasn't good at cutting, and I wanted to do cutting because Tony. I told Tony was the
Hmm.
one that inspired me because that
Hmm.
girl can cut,
Hmm.
So anyway, I had a great time with you guys. Keisha, shout out to Keisha. Shout out to Zaria. Keisha, where are you at? Are you in Florida too? You in Miami? I mean, you in Florida? You can post it on there later. We are going to go ahead and sign out. It has been a wonderful pleasure. Hopefully, we will see you guys next week, Sunday. You got anything
Hmm.
going on, Don? Sunday? Next week, Sunday.
Sunday is
Oh,
salon talk.
Alabama.
Alabama.
Hey, they nice down there. They real nice down
Okay.
there, honey. I wonder if they can slay some hair. I'm gonna ask you some questions next week, Keisha. Hopefully you'll be here. So we will see you guys next week, 7 p.m.
Hmm.
sharp Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for tuning in to Salon Talk with Don Ferguson, my co-host, and me,
Hmm.
Coach Lee Hill. We'll see you guys next week. I pray that this video blessed you guys and have a good week. All right. Bye.
Take care.